Speaking of upcoming phones, we have a patent from Huawei, a new smartphone with under-display camera and virtual buttons. Now, it's important to note this patent was filed a really long time ago, but it was just recently recently approved. It takes time, Will. You submit a patent, you don't get approval right away on a patent. So this was back in 2019, but it just got approved. So once it gets approved, then you see it in plain sight. It comes out into the public. Now, this smartphone is very bizarre looking, I have to say. Beyond the fact that there's the rumored under-display camera and absolutely no buttons on it, you have these cutouts on the side where the screen appears to extend around the chassis, but only in these specific sections. And if you scroll down a little further there, Will, you'll see that patent application has it come all the way around to the back of the phone. Now, I know some people are just listening to this show right now. I can explain it to you. Where you would normally have buttons for volume or power, you have screen. But then you have phone frame above and below it. So just a section of screen that wraps around. Why would you want this? We have to speculate. It's our job to speculate. So I'm going to pause for a minute and you're going to speculate, Willie Do. Why would you want that?
I mean, we're all looking for like a unified body, right? So not having any mechanical buttons or, making sure that there's no leakage of like water or anything inside the components. I mean, it would make sense that it's all kind of unified in this design. Is it right? I don't know.
What do you mean, is it right? I mean, there's no right and wrong. We're just speculating here.
I speculate.
But I'm talking more specifically about that portion that wraps to the side there. Why do you need that? Like, for example, why not wrap it around the whole thing? Like, what is the incentive?
Well, I'm guessing this is glass. Right?
Okay.
So you would want some sort of protection, in the corners if you want to drop it.
Maybe it's that you still need somewhere to hold it.
Well, you can hold glass.
No, but what I mean to say is people have argued about the wraparound displays with the unintentional touches being registered. Maybe this design is a consequence of those complaints where you can still, there's a section that's touch sensitive, but then the remainder, where you can confidently grip it without having those missed presses or unintentional inputs.
Yeah. Even then, I feel like software can do that, right?
Well, it's supposed to, but it hasn't worked perfectly up until this point, in my experience.
Yeah, you're right.
It hasn't worked perfectly, so I don't know. The point is, though, this was submitted back in 2019, so who knows what the state of affairs was back then. The patent was included in the World Intellectual Property Office database and carried 14 total images, and these are the two smartphones from within the patent. The first patented device features a full-screen body on the front with minimal bezels on every side. No pop-up mechanism or anything like that, which seems to indicate the in-display or under-display front camera because there's no hole punch, no nothing on the image. The portion on the sides could house virtual buttons for both volume rockers, power buttons, and possibly other functionalities as well. I think part of it, in my opinion, is just showing off a form factor or a design that we haven't seen before. Part of it is just, oh, that's interesting. The way we're buying these phones now, 2020, half of it is the novelty of, I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
Particularly if we're swapping them out fairly frequently. I haven't tried that before. Let me take a crack at that one. Kind of thing. Now, that's a problem you and I have being around this space. Maybe that's not for everyone. But it does appear that humans in general are hungry for anything but just the slab, because that's kind of what we're seeing. That's why you see some hype around the flipping stuff, some hype around the folding stuff. It's going to be, if once Apple touches that folding stuff, it's going to be an interesting day that day. If they do, that would be an interesting day. Anyway, for now, we got a semi wraparound situation patented from Huawei. We'll see what happens with that.